Every word you speak or think is like casting a spell, shaping how you see yourself, how you feel, and even how your body responds. If you're curious about the hidden magic of words and uncovering the everyday spells you might be casting without even realizing it, this episode is for you. Welcome to Dear Curious Soul, a space where you can follow your curiosity and explore yourself, your body, and the world around you. I'm Duschanca, and today we're getting curious about words and the spells you cast on yourself every single day. All my life, I have loved words. I love learning new words, understanding their meanings, and discovering their origins. I loved English at school, and I'm now learning Spanish, which means I get to fall in love with language all over again. But words hold so much power, and I don't think that I always gave them the credit they deserve. I would say or think things that just came into my head without really understanding the repercussions. So let's get curious about the words we speak and think and how they cast spells on us. The Old English meaning of the word spell was story, saying, or message, and it came from the Proto-Germanic spellum, which refers to speech or discourse. Over time, it evolved to mean both to form words by letters and an incantation or magical charm. That evolution reflects an ancient belief that spoken words carry creative or transformative power. In 2001, Dr. Masaru Emoto published The Hidden Messages in Water, claiming that the structure of water changed based on the stimuli it received. He said that positive, loving words produced aesthetically pleasing water crystals when frozen and viewed under a microscope, while negative words or harsh music led to irregular or fragmented forms. So, what are the implications for us? The human body is made up of around 50 to 75% water. If words can affect the structure of water, what are they doing to our bodies? Now, a quick disclaimer. Many in the scientific community criticized Dr. Emoto's work, saying the experiments lacked rigorous controls. That made me even more curious. So I've decided I want to try a version of the experiment myself, and I'll share my results in a future episode. While completing my holistic life coaching qualification, I came across some research in psychoneuroimmunology, that's a mouthful, or PNI for short. It's the study of how the nervous system, the immune system, and our mind interacts. Research in this field shows that our bodies respond physiologically to our inner dialogue. Our self-talk can influence our heart rate and our autonomic nervous system, which means that our bodies react to inner speech, not just as abstract thought, but physically. Then there's the relaxation response, a book written in 1975 by Harvard physician Herbert Benson and Miriam Z. Clipper. Their work shows that intentional words through meditation or mantras can trigger the relaxation response, which lowers our heart rate and blood pressure and supports our overall health. Words and thoughts don't just feel uplifting, they actually calm the nervous system and reduce stress. Let's get curious about affirmations. An affirmation is the action of affirming something, to state or assert positively, to maintain as true. When we hear the word affirmations, we often think of positive phrases like I am loved, repeated daily to build self-love. But there's another side to affirmations. We can unintentionally affirm negative beliefs as well. In the past, I would often call myself lazy whenever I didn't want to exercise. And so I kept affirming that I was lazy, and my actions followed. I never exercised. Our self-talk shapes our lives, our personality, and our reality. Words program us. Our belief systems begin forming in childhood and often by the age of 7 through the words spoken to us and about us. My belief about being lazy began when I was very young and wet the bed, something that many children do. One of my parents commented that I wet the bed because I was too lazy to get up in the middle of the night to use the toilet. That single comment was enough to create a neural pathway. I am lazy. And my behavior followed, reinforcing the belief. I wasn't able to change that belief until I stopped, looked at it, and saw that it was not true. And there were so many aspects of my life that proved that I was definitely not lazy. If you're curious about changing outdated programming, I'll be sharing the exact exercise I use to uncover and reframe my negative self talk in a bonus episode. It's available right now, and there's a link in the show notes. Words like always and never hold immense power. They're absolutes. Your brain and your body are always listening. When you say, I always attract the wrong person, or I never get up on time, you're actually training your brain to make it true. So reframing can really help. You could say instead, in the past, I attracted the wrong person, but now I know better. I'm learning to get up on time. By reframing and choosing more supportive words, we're showing our brain that there's a new possibility, and our brain, the supercomputer, will always try to make that a reality. Earlier, I mentioned I'm learning Spanish, and one of the things I love most is the sentiment behind certain words. In Spanish, there are two words for to be: ser and estar, and they're not interchangeable. Ser is used for essence, who you are at your core. Estar is used for temporary states, how you feel, where you are, and what you're experiencing in the moment. So instead of saying, I am sick in a fixed way, you say, estoy enferma. I'm in a state of sickness. It implies that it's temporary. It's not your identity. I think there's something so deeply healing about that distinction. It separates you from what you're going through. As part of my Spanish immersion, I've started using affirmations in Spanish instead of English because I want the qualities that I'm affirming to become part of who I am at my core, not just temporarily. And finally, I want to touch on words from other people. Words from others only affect us if we believe them ourselves. If someone called you fat and you genuinely didn't believe it, it wouldn't land. But if it triggers you, that reaction is information. That is showing you something that's tender within you and still needs to be looked at. Why does that word have such a hold on you? As the saying goes, no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. I leave you with this. You get to choose what power words have over you. So choose wisely. Words shape our lives, or in the words of the wonderful Dr. Wayne Dyer, you create your thoughts. Your thoughts create your intentions, and your intentions create your reality. What words have you been casting over yourself lately? Are they spells of limitation or expansion? A heartfelt thank you for listening with an open mind, a kind heart, and your dear curious soul. If you'd like to support the podcast, please consider sharing this episode with someone who feels like they're the right person. It may be exactly what they need to hear at this moment on their path. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the whispers of your soul.